there is something that is more in control than me as a physical person. For Christians will say, trust in the Lord. I interpret this to mean that there are things going on with us that we are not aware of by ourselves unless we have come to this understanding. We will always function according to what is in our neural pathways until something has put a stop or expunged them and replaced them with another set of data. You will even find yourself disappointing yourself. It is a human thing until you realize it and you put in the work to replace what is in your neural pathways, because we will always be loyal to what is in our subconscious, no matter what we voice with our mouths, no matter what we even think that we intend. And so that is why when you find that you're just trusting yourself, if you don't have this understanding, you constantly disappoint not only just other people, but yourself. So I'm going to read a little. See, neuroscience shows that the brain does not passively mirror the world. It predicts and filters reality. Because external inputs are limited, trusting our own limited understanding over internal data leads to bias. This is why we cannot take people for granted, because we don't know what is happening in their neural pathways, no matter what they're presenting and we're seeing on the external. Again, I remind you that we disappoint even ourselves until we come to this understanding and we know what to put in place before we come to decision that you can be a person who makes a decision and you will stand by your decision. I met a guy when I was in my early 20s. If he got into the car and he had driven only one minute and he realized that he hadn't done some other thing, he would just continue. He would say, no, we cannot go back. And I used to wonder, but I didn't realize that he had learned the discipline. This is a discipline that if people do not learn, they will constantly make errors and they will be wondering, but this is not really what I wanted to do. It is a human thing until you put in the work to replace what is in your neural pathway. Relationships will make sense because you can understand that what you're seeing is not what you're going to get. This is why I say relationships are not hard. It is just that people do not understand. And because you do not understand, you will constantly be throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping that something will catch on. And hope and luck is not what we want to base relationships on. It is far too big, too important for our lives to just base on hope and luck. Here is a breakdown of why cognitive reality differs from what people see. Predictive processing. The brain uses past experiences to predict what it is about to experience, meaning that your expectations heavily alter what you perceive. Do you understand? And finally, we take decisions. Like I've always said, we take decisions from within, and so does it match with what is really within us. And this is why people make errors in judgments in relationships. So only if you learn how, then things will begin to make sense to you. It is not hard. It is not complicated. It is that we have been fed a lot of jargon, a lot of lies, one of them being that relationships are hard. And therefore, when you come across somebody who is being difficult, you already think in your mind, oh, relationships are complicated. And because of that, you don't even know when to draw the line, when you will know whether it's a relationship that is going to be difficult or whether it is a relationship that you shouldn't even be in at all, because you already have the wrong mindset, believing that relationships are complicated. In this video here, I had this conversation with this lovely lady. She left her marriage after 10 years, and the reason is because right from even before she got married, in her soul, she actually was not intending to get married to the man. But she didn't allow that through. This is how a lot of marriages were created.
Yes.
Somebody just was doing something. The other person feeling like, how can I speak up? When can I speak up? And before you know what's happening, children have come. The reason people have got themselves into this difficult situation is because they use external factors to validate the decision to be in a relationship with the individual they are now struggling with, while the basis of that judgment is supposed to be instead on the understanding of the individual's consciousness, both their own consciousness and your own consciousness. And this is why I guide people on doing this by using role play in our mind muscle training program. It's essential because when people understand this, they can more readily determine alignment before starting a relationship. I will chop up that video and I want you to expect it soon. Check back again, and I'm going to use this. This is the video that you should be looking out for. Also, one of the reasons that lady's marriage actually happened is this idea that people say that a man knows his wife when he sees her. I then went ahead to have the conversation about it with our co-host, Tony. And I want you to listen to that conversation here. And then after that conversation, I will upload the one I had with the lady.